streaming, and basically, yeah, that's it. Yeah, just live streaming. No particular topic today, but for the consistency's sake, uh, for the sake of my YouTube channel, just went to the nearby coffee shop since Vietnam, the Chang has a lot of them. That's one of my favorite things about here. And ordered some guava juice and planning to do some Q&A. So feel free to join the live stream, basically ask the questions, and I'll do my best to engage. Hello, good evening. Good evening to you too, Tashif. Hope you're doing well. In Vietnam, they serve, what do you call this? This is basically rather green tea or some mix. Usually they mix it with ice. Thank you, come on. So this is the guava juice. I usually order, there's no sugar, you can request if you don't want or want sugar. Good for hydration, by the way. Oh, good question. What plans do you have for Christmas? Yeah, me and my husband going to spend it together. Most likely here in Nha Trang in Vietnam. So in our hometown, basically, that Nha Trang has been a home for us for general almost a year now. My father-in-law is coming to join, possibly. So that might be a good thing. Uh, yeah, it's more like a family environment. But usually we keep training. We just do regular stuff up until the end, and we don't take really time off. Shama is great. It's well, let's see what he does on his title defense. Uh, yeah, regarding updates. Oh, I got my sparring helmet delivered today. So today it's chill, but for Saturday, guys, stay tuned. Gonna be a sparring day, which I'll attend. So you're gonna see me sparring. You're gonna see others be sparring, technical sparring, smart sparrings, because there were gonna be guys mostly, and I'm one girl, but it doesn't stop us from doing like this good technical work. There is no rule. There is this new rule: 100% wearing helmets, because someone got. I don't know how that happened, but one of the guys literally broke his forehead bone, like the bone that whatever it's called. So they're like, yeah, now 100% for the safety sake, wearing helmets. Before it was a recommendation, now it's the necessity. But yeah, Saturday is gonna be sparring day. Today it's just chill. I can show you. I'm just outside. Look, it's so it's so Christmassy. Basically, it's the coffee shop. I'm outside of the coffee shop. They definitely did a great job with the decorations here. Here we go. One of the reasons I chose this spot is because of the light coming right to my face. Hello, hello. Hippo or polar bear wins. Well, depends on the setting. I think hippo has too much of the tough skin and one of the strongest bite forces. So I think hippo. But bears are also one of the most deadliest. The claws, like yeah, very scary animal. Love your hair, appreciate it. Thanks. No, this is not USA. This is Vietnam. I think global opposite actually. Like right, there is a 12-hour difference between Vietnam and United States. I think comparing to the central states or West Coast area. Looks really nice. Yeah, it is. It's nice vibe, even though it's not very cold in the chunk, so it's not gonna be snowing. But there's a lot of decorations, a lot of coffee shops, restaurants, and basically a lot of hotels. Everywhere there's going to be a lot of decorations, including the streets. I would say Vietnam is generally quite colorful on its own without any holidays as well. So it's going to be a nice celebration. Creative decoration. Yeah, like I would say good quality Christmas decorations. Tutorials, shorts for the beginners. When? Thank you. I'm sorry. Yes, I've been stretching it out a little bit. Um, you know what? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do my best to get out in the morning and do it tomorrow. It's Thursday and I don't have anything in store. It's Thursday in the morning. I can just take my time and do the shorts. So I'm gonna start uploading them gradually. Thanks for calling me out and reminding me and keeping me accountable, though. I'll do it. As I said, I promised it. I'll do it. You sang well. Appreciate it. Thank you. What was it? It was last karaoke night. Are you the girl who runs the bar? I don't run the bar. I just host karaoke's there. It's just like a side hustle for me. But I also do training. I train. Today I don't do either. I'm just chilling. Guava juice. No sugar, no alcohol. I wish you a Merry Christmas and have a great time in Vietnam. Appreciate it. Same to you, all of you guys. Merry Christmas. May that year, however it was, for some people it was a better year, for some people worse. For us, for me and my husband, it was a mix. I mean, a lot of great things happened, but a lot of life lessons as well. Just take the most of it and prepare yourself with a new energy, with a brand new motivation and determination towards the next year. For this place, it's in Vietnam, Nha Trang. I'm from Georgia. Um, from Georgia, the country, from the capital, Tbilisi. I was born there and lived most of my life there. Does your husband run the bar? No, the bar belongs to, I mean, people we're friendly with. American couple, by the way. But the husband, he's originally Vietnamese. Nat- the natural red beauty. Hey, not really natural. Oh, you can see my natural hair color actually now. You see? You see the transition? This is my natural hair color. I'm dyeing it, so I'm making more bright ginger, which I'm gonna do soon. Yes, that's right. I'm married. My husband been busy lately. He was a little bit sick, having had some quite nasty virus, but it was short term, and now he's been working a lot lately. So usually he attends my live streams and does some moderating as well. Hello, Turkey. Hi guys. So yeah, basically Merry Christmas. Feel free to share what are you planning to do for holidays, Christmas, New Year's in Georgia actually, and I think here as well. Uh, the New Year is more of a thing, and then in Asia and in Vietnam specifically, and I think it's in China as well. There is Tet, their New Year, which is more I think it's in February, and that is quite a big celebration. So it's beautiful time to be around in Vietnam. Did that make you make the bar better? Of course, they pay me. They basically pay me for something that I just enjoy doing. I'm booing you to have a best mate for me. Did you get that one? Bottles and bottle of wine and cakes. That's what I'm going to do. That sounds lovely. we're probably gonna just go if the gym is open. Still, some training, some live streaming. I mean, like usual, working on certain things. Now I'm being actually working now on the one-on-one program, like a 3 month course, and decorating it. Basically, it's going to be general course focusing on the establishing healthy habits, focusing on strength training specifically, build muscle, so maintain, recover, and the third would be some mindset and psychology part. So that is something new for me, and I'm quite excited to do it. But this is something that I'm ready to do. That's fast and loud. Anyways, so that is something that I already started doing that, so I'm gonna keep working on it for as long as it's gonna require. How was training today? I didn't train today. Don't really feel good. Female reasons. For 95% of the male audience that I have on YouTube, I think it's code word. So for women, it's actually recommended. First day, just chill, rest. Don't need to go too hard due to a very low hormonal background that usually translates on the body energy and also the mood. How are you, boxer girl? I'm doing all right. Just chilling, taking it easy, having my guava juice. Yeah, it's been what I don't know why they're being. Some of them are being super loud. Hello, we're waiting for you in the Romania to open the boxing gym. We need a strong and warrior athlete like you. Interesting. Well, I don't know. Email, email me, and my husband. We're checking our emails every now and then, and I don't know what's the offer. Sounds interesting. Romania is the country I definitely want to visit one day. I heard it's beautiful and one of the most beautiful roads, like a mountain roads, spectacular. Heard it from my friends. How old are you? I'm 25 years old. This year, oh well, next year I will be 26 basically. So I was born year 2000 and May 6th of May. Yeah, I don't do that too often. I don't live stream just about anything. I usually have topics. Usually it's training or entertainment or talking about something important. Sometimes I select some topics very often about UFC or boxing events, but today it's just exactly the way my mood is and my body energy levels. Just let's have a conversation. Let's try to get keep the life going. Look, if you had the one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? Yo, Eminem. Becky Lynch is that you. Everyone keeps saying it, and I think that I'm the only one who doesn't really see the resemblance. Like, yeah, we both are ginger, we both are athletic, I guess, but that's okay. I mean, who am I to argue with majority? You're pretty active. Usually I am, but not today. Georgians train with the big bears at the age of 5, and then they go and drink wine. Hope you're beautiful as always. Hope you're beautiful. Okay. Russian fighters are great. Yeah, Russian fighters are strong, but Russia is also a big country. It's the biggest country in the world land-wise. So the population is quite massive. and it also creates the potential for um, having a bigger amount of produced great fighters. Are you a boxer? Yes, I am. You can check out some of my other live streams and videos, and you'll see by yourself. Why don't you create a new channel and post the cover songs? Just because it's a little bit too much. I'm I'm kind of still I'm still barely managing. Like the way this YouTube channel went up to more than 10,000 subscribers now, and I just want to keep it going. So I prefer just to have everything here, even though it might counter countering it a little bit. Here you have singing, and then you have sports, but that's who I am. That's me doing all of it. So I'll just keep it all at once. Georgia's taking over UFC. Well, I mean, not after Merab's loss at this point, but I do believe there's going to be a great rematch. But Merab needs to be more. I think he does a lot of old school stuff, a lot old school way cut, water cuts. He's being like quite stubborn when it comes to those things, I think, and that's not good long term. That way, he's gonna only deplete himself. Also, there's interesting thing. There are studies, and you can check it out yourself. You can research. There are two type. There are few types of endurances. Cardiovascular endurance. Um, People who train and maintain it. Uh, Very often, without the resistance training and the balance in the adaptation, they show the massive decrease into strength, explosivity, and power, which is essential for combat sports. So just doing cardio type of training, yes, it's gonna develop your stamina, endurance. But from the other hand, and in wrestling, it's also different patterns. So it's more important, rather when it's striking, it's more about pacing and not only cardio, but actually knowing how to pace it, and also have a muscular endurance, meaning like being able to create explosive momentum for a prolonged period of time, on and off, right? And there are studies that the muscle mass actually needs longer time to develop, build up, and then if you lose it, if you do the break in your resistance and strength training, it's faster depleting. When the cardio, once you build it, it's easier to build in the first place, and then if you're off the training and you just go back within the 2 3 months, you get back to an optimal endurance. So it's very interesting. I think it's a little bit the case with Merab, because he literally doesn't have a punching power. He really doesn't. So it's an interesting research. And the video I watched, it was focused on Muay Thai, but it basically applies to every combat sport. She's pretty buff for a woman, I guess. I'm alright. I'm not that buff. I'm not growing like, because I'm training pure strength, training through resistance training. I'm not really going through a lot of hypertrophy. Like I'm not growing more than that. Are you Dutch? No, I'm Georgian. Just having a casual live stream today. No particular topic. What's the best martial art according to you if you need to power in your fights? Um, if you need to power in your fights, well, that's what I've been saying. You need resistance training, and then you're basically going to be able to power. Um, Striking combat sports are more about power and explosive power, actually. When the wrestling is more about like more about strengths. Yeah, you have an element when you need to make the explosive like a throw, and you have the moments of the explosivity and that type of power. But in striking, it's way more prominent. So I guess it just works slightly differently in the both patterns, and it's better to have both. I'm Georgian. No working out, not today. You look like you're from UK. Well, I'm not, but I've been told that Ireland, Scotland. I'm not a real ginger. You can even see my hair now. Outgrew quite. So it's kind of like a ash light. It's quite light hair color, but it's like different. It's neither blonde nor ginger, but it's like some more like an ash. High in the street. Okay. You just carry gun, and if it's the ring, sambo. Sambo is great. I would say Greco-Roman is like, I mean, wrestling is more dominating, 100% in MMA. But I think it should be, you should aim for optimal, though, because wrestling takes longer time to learn for whatever reason. Yeah, Sambo and Greco-Roman wrestling base as a base is good. And obviously, on top of it, one second, sorry. On top of it, BJJ. So you have some defensive grappling and then striking. I would put not only Muay Thai or kickboxing, but I would put boxing also on top of everything as a separate thing to practice. Just want to ask, this would your broken nose or jaw or losing something teeth would dissuade you from the punchy thingy? I guess yes, but at least that would frustrate me a little bit. Well, I have a little bit, not a broken nose, but I have a shifted septum. But because I used to take way more punches before, I didn't know really how to work on my defense. Now it's better. Now I'm not really getting that much punch in my boxing. How much you're punching? That's the question. Marab is one, and Piotr Yan is one. Yes, 1-1. I have a background in the both sambo is a lot more technical and dangerous if used correctly. Okay, well then you know better. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. It's interesting to know a little bit more. I haven't been following much on sambo, though we have some people in sambo. We actually have quite prominent female champion in sambo. Forgot her name, but I think she's retired already. It's just the street. People are just driving their scooters. I grew up on boxing. It's the best base to start from on the feet. That's correct. I agree 100%. I would also recommend to start from boxing when it comes to the striking game. I have a husband. Best wishes. Best wishes to you too, guys. The Christmas is coming. Can a woman fighter beat an average man who have a good body? Well, it really depends which setting. There are a lot of situations where women self defend themselves, but it's also unexpected momentum when it comes to and like combat, like ready on combat 1-on-1. Usually, men, even average men, can outpower a woman, but it depends on the style too. I've seen some videos like Taekwondo is very interesting because I've seen because the leg is more powerful, leg punches and kicks, and the better you know how to throw legs, the better. It also increases the range, so it's kind of helps you to keep yourself in a safer range. I've seen women using taekwondo quite efficiently against guys. Um, Boxing wise, again, there is such a thing. A woman, obviously, a good female boxer can outbox you when you work, like when that's the purpose of your work. But if you put a real fight, a man always gonna. Even if there was this one fight in MMA, man versus woman, the female was a way technical fighter, which was in great. But reality was, an unfortunate reality was that she was landing those punches, and they were really, we're not really creating that, like hurting the guy. So they couldn't, like he just mouthed through and essentially knocked her out. So, where's such a disparity within the punching power and all of that kind of stuff, then, usually That is the main, like the biggest factor. I'm not giving 360 check. Thank you, appreciate it. Hi, Tripto. It's been a long time. Hope you're doing well. What's the plans for the Christmas? How do you do that? Like, do you celebrate it in India that way, or there's something like this a special way of celebration? A boxing guy or Muay Thai guy will fight, who will win? Well, Muay Thai has definitely more arsenal, elbows, knees, legs, very damaging. So that is enough to maul a boxer. But if we're talking about boxing rules, just hands, just boxers are usually better upper strikers. But in the just general setting, just about like fighting who will win, just because of the bigger arsenal and harder, naturally harder punches, Muay Thai I would take. Just came in, discovered your channel. Can you tell what's about and where you're from? I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi, same country as Mirab and Tapuria brothers. And I'm in Vietnam right now. This is my channel about Red Hat Diaries. Didn't come up with a better name, but the diaries is a keyword because I show my journey on the training, longevity, giving tips, boxing tips, but also trying to turn pro. So showing the journey of getting there, and yeah, just gradually growing the community, the presence, and based on the good quality, valuable things like martial arts and respect and positive attitude towards life, responsibility, resilience, etc. Hello, hello. You ever got any bad injuries? How do you prevent injuries while training and sparring? Never got like a bad injuries, fortunately. I mean, when I did BJJ for a while, that was the most like I never had as frequent small injuries. So I had something on my knee, but fortunately then healed, and I broke my pinky toe, so it literally got dislocated and broken while uh, rolling within training. So that was when I quit, basically, because I had to. I couldn't walk for 6 months properly because of that pinky. And then I just moved on with my life. I was doing something else. Um, but apart from that, I have that attitude. Once I start feeling, usually the most common and worst injuries come on your spine and come on your joints, not only elbows, but generally your joints, your elbows, your shoulders, your knees, your hips, and wrist, that kind of stuff. So once I feel that there is something wrong, especially with knees and elbows, I just stop training. That's it. I also don't do certain type of trainings just because it just wears off joints. Female Joe Rogan. Haha, that's not a bad thing to do. I would take it as a compliment. You do this every day? Trying to. I'm trying to be consistent. If a man really want to hurt a woman, here is nothing she can do. If a woman ever been hit by a man out of this strength, she knows the difference. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. That's unfortunately it's true, and even smaller man to a taller woman can do that, unless there is such a big size disparity. There are some super tall and big women, and there are like some super like Gabriel Garcia is gonna beat some small skinny Vietnamese guy, obviously, right? So, but when it's like a physiologically similarly equipped men and women, men always have the bone density, the muscle density, testosterone, and as a result, a power, speed, and explosivity advantage. I never did it. My husband is a big guy, by the way. I'm married, yes. You mentioned Taekwondo. I'm black belt in Taekwondo, but I'm rusty now. Left training. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it in the context of women actually using it quite efficiently against men because in that case, well, punching with hand is way, no matter how good of the puncher you are, like leg kick, getting in the head or like anywhere is way more powerful just because the leg is a bigger limb, and if it's used efficiently, obviously it has a better damaging effect. As a taekwondo, you can tell me more of your experience and actually an expertise. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Music going background. Hope I'm not getting a copyright claim, but yeah, good. Some Christmas vibes. Even trained versus untrained is women will have an issue. Yeah, exactly. But it's good to have a skill with as a woman. Like, why not? It's always skill, the physicality, the relative strengths. All these aspects always give you some confidence, body control, environmental awareness. So when people say, "Oh, there's no point why she's training," well, no, it's better for her to train than rather than opposite. You think Mirab wants a rematch? Well, he said so. Okay. I'm back. Gamma Jubim and Dalbundi. Hello. Strategy plays a role in the ring, not in real situation. Exactly. Exactly. Well, skill still plays a role, but skill was the power. The stronger, the bigger person, if there is no weapons involved, is gonna just be more dangerous. And obviously, then you have if there is the gun, the rifle, and the fire gun is basically an equalizer. So if you're a woman, you have a gun. It doesn't matter how strong you are. I'm just gonna shoot you, right? So it's there's always this factor about the factor. Advance Merry Christmas to you too as well. Where you from? I'm from Georgia. Georgia, Tbilisi, the country. What about Hamzat versus Pereira? Which one is you choose? Well, I think Pereira is quite big, but he doesn't have no ground game. He though is strong and bigger, and he might be a little bit better at the taking some of the takedown defense. But I believe Hamzat's wrestling, if he stack up with the weight, he's gonna create a big problem for Pereira. But there is in the Pereira's case, there is always the risk for Hamzat to be knocked out, like everyone else. Like Alex Pereira is the a punching powerhouse. So, but wrestling is more dominating, controlling style. So if Hamzat just pulls it off and just keeps him on the ground like he did with DDP. Oh, it depends where. Like he's in the middleweight now, and Pereira is light heavyweight, so it depends which weight class. But they're not very far ahead. Though, as I said, if Pereira just goes and does the same like he did with Ankalaev, and Ankalaev is not as good a wrestler as Hamzat, right? So for Hamzat, Hamzat can get your leg like with a fingertip, get your leg and get you on the ground and just control you the entire time. So there is kind of risk factors from both. One is at the risk of getting knocked out, another one is that at the risk of maybe get submitted, but more importantly, being just controlled on the ground. Skill allows the target deployment of the violence, but if you do have the skill, just hit and hit hard. Obviously, I mean, it's better to have a basic skill rather than not have a skill. I've seen there were like people say the biggest delusion in the women, everyone thinks they're 10, and biggest delusion in the men is everyone all guys think that they can fight. Well, I've seen guys who think they can fight and they're tough, and they swing hands like horribly slow, sluggish. I was like, even like I would just with that punch, it's so horrible, it's not even fun. So obviously basic skill is better and always gonna show, like the stance gonna show, the movement gonna show that okay, that person is trained. Wrestler versus destructive striker, Hamzat versus Pereira. Yeah, it's good way to say it. Um, uh, Well, now if it's trained woman like you versus smaller untrained men in the real situation, you do have an advantage if you rely on the violence of motion. Yeah, of course, it's like also self surviving instinct, you know. But people do crazy stuff. Don't forget that people don't only punch when they do that. People bite off someone's noses and you like do crazy stuff. Uh, like I wouldn't only like I wouldn't even use hands. I would use like if I get on the top, I would just use elbows, like literally, right? Like it's just protecting yourself yourself at all costs. There is actually this UFC female fighter, I think, and she's not like one of the top ones. Someone tried to rob her, and she manhandled the guy and waited until the 911 would come because of that skill. And obviously, size discrepancy wasn't that big, and he wasn't expecting that. And once you actually get damaged, and you, your ass gets whooped. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a woman or man or a child or anyone. Like you just get hurt. Pereira is getting taken down every time. Yeah, with Hamzat, yes, though he didn't get even after losing to Ankalaev. Actually, I don't think he was taken down a single time in that fight. And there were like at least 7 attempts of the takedown. Hamzat directly go to a takedown while Alex will to stand go do stand up. Yeah, I'm just that's what I'm saying. If Hamzat pulls it off, sure, I think if he stacks up the weight, they're not going to be a huge difference. It's not about height or stuff. But for Hamzat, it's detrimental to stay up because if Pereira catches him really, so yeah, he just needs to go for ground and just stay there and keep Pereira down there. Do you fight locally or overseas? What's the competitions like in your area? I mean, Southeast Asia, so Vietnam, Thailand, that area. In Thailand mostly, I would probably go to Thailand. Like when I'm ready for the first fight, I just call my friends who are there and I'll just ask them to help to organize the fight. I'm excited for Patty versus Gagey. I mean, it's Patty is a character, so it's interesting. And Gagey is like a veteran. I think. Well, Turkian like if Turrican was involved, rather with Patty or with Gage, it would be more exciting. I think, despite I'm not a fan of Turrican, but UFC definitely showing that they hate fighters that they love fighters that are active. They that really bring the public. I think Cyril Gunn versus Pereira is most interesting. Oh, it actually could be super interesting. Yeah, but yeah, Gunn needs to keep his fingers to himself. Do you think Marab makes himself look a bit foolish when he talks a big and then loses? As a dominant winner, you can say whatever you want, but as a loser, your own words tends to hit you back fast. Well, I think it's happened to everyone who is on the top and lost, essentially. I mean, he's been dominating for many years, and all of a sudden, well, wrong plan, wrong game. Piotr Jan, great preparation. There is a lot of mistakes on the Mirab's side. That's one of the reasons, like reasons or causes or excuses, whatever you call it, for his loss as well. So he better now just be smart, take enough time for rest, uh, start listening to actual nutritionologist and be careful with like because he's not getting younger and only willpower is not enough. He needs to develop better punching strength as well. And I think with Piotr Jan, he needs to he cannot win against Piotr. That is one of the best a pace setter fighters. Like he sets if Piotr Jan sets his pace, he's gonna go through it like GSP used to. So with like Merab needs just to distort his pace. And yes, Petryan's stamina and shape was spectacular this time. But one of the reasons why he looked better as well was because Merab tried to play striking game with Piotr Yan. And yeah, he tried to go on the takedowns. And but that's the thing. If he didn't do that from the very beginning, and getting damaged, getting like a lot of bouncing, gassing himself out on the striking card is a little bit different. Then, when Piotr was fully prepared to take down defend those takedowns, and also having good gas tank on the go. Like at some point it was impossible for Merab to switch also, and he's like, okay, let me stick to that entertainment fight, and I think it was one of the most entertaining fights of Merab, honestly. But winning wasn't a winning strategy for him. It's like using BJJ against wrestling, hoping that you will submit a wrestler when BJJ only helps you as the defensive style. All Merab could do was throw a lot of volume punches that didn't have an actual power, and that's also one of the reasons I think it's due to his training. I already talked about the strengths and how strength endurance works. From the other hand, Piotr Jan, one of the best strikers in the division, and well, arguably in UFC, calculated strikers, cold-hearted strikers, just really applied a real damage and paced it great. Yeah, keep scrolling up, guys. Uh, excuse me, who are you? I'm just a person on your YouTube feed. Yeah, Patty, engage you. I'm gonna be watching it. It's interesting. Do you feel the red meat is not good for health in the long term? A lot of things are not good long term, and the red meat is, as much as it's like in a very excessive amount, it can raise your LDL cholesterol. It's not the like if it's unprocessed, a chunk of meat from the good source, you can eat it. I think recommendations like twice a week is acceptable. I still prefer chicken, obviously, and eggs as the main bioavailable sources, and more dietary, and lower in sodium and all that kind of stuff. Um, it doesn't affect LDL cholesterol either. But yeah, it's about there are certain products they're better than others, way better, and getting way too demonized, but they need to be taken in a reasonable amount. And yeah, not like how carnivores do. So as I said, like one of those products is the red meat. Also, again, the sausages, everything processed is way worse quality and way worse for the health long term than the non-processed product. Plus, Alex is tall. Hamzat will struggle to land anything. Go on, Alex, even if you put him on the ground. Yeah, I think so. That's like, but he would maybe. I think he would manage to just because Alex doesn't know how to wrestle. I think he would just be able to hold him on the ground. But we never know. Like when you're a big guy and you're against a wrestler, this is BJJ where BJJ can be actually helpful to just at least be able to get up from that position. If Alex manages that obviously I would say Hamzat does not want Alex to be on feet at all. Yeah, Gun is dirty fighter, 100%. I like some biryani, like yeah, I like Indian slash Pakistani dishes. They're quite heavy, but sometimes it's good. Murab's game plan falls apart quickly when his opponent is not worn down by the wrestling. I still think that Murab, what Murab's been always doing, he just starts wrestling from the very beginning. And gonna do in the beginning he might not be able to do the takedown, but again he's gonna just keep going. This is his pace, and in that pace he's like, I think he can do that forever, like at least for 25 rounds. And that's the thing with the Piotr Jan, I think he could do that if he just went boring, no striking at all, like no striking at all, because you can see in the first round Big Chaikov is the first round, he didn't even try to go for a takedown. He got countered once, like strong by like Piotr Jan's cross, and then he was like, okay, I need to try to go on the ground. But he already gave Piotr Jan that pace, and obviously with those takedowns. So Merab, instead of wearing himself off by bouncing, throwing a lot of twice as many punches as Piotr Jan would do, considering that he doesn't have a muscular endurance when it comes to punching. That thing is not quickly developed, and when you're doing defending your title 3 times a year, every 2-3 months, that's not something you can work through. GSP was saying that for a fighter to establish something new in his game, to add some new elements, they need at least 6 months to implement. It's like one thing at a time. So from the beginning, for him, it was interesting. I think it was good for fans. It was good for the hype and for triology and for Merab's reputation. And a lot of people love him after this fight because he tried to stand up, and it was, he earned a lot of people's respect. Purely through strategic point of view, that was a wrong strategy for him. He had to start wrestling from the beginning, and yeah, maybe first 2 rounds, Piotr Jan would be good at taking down defense, like having takedown defenses. But Merab, I believe that in that setting, he would just outpace him. By the round 2, 3, he would still, like, he would start breaking through his defense if he just did what he would do, like in the first fight. You know, I think that he would have a better chances than adapting something that was completely unusual for him. And I understand as a champion, he wanted to make it more entertaining, to show that he actually can finish, yeah, he actually can outstrike. But he doesn't have that power train because his training system, I think, his training is a lot of pacing, a lot of cardio, a lot of endurance, a lot of wrestling, uh, and with striking, it helped him just to be able to still throw a lot of value through the punches. Like he threw twice as much as Piotr Jan, but the damage wise, he barely damaged him significantly. Why? Because strength. That's why I'm training strengths, guys. Some people don't like, they don't understand why I do less than 5 repetitions and I do specific exercises and rest for a long time. And sometimes it's just integrated in the boxing training. Well, my punch is getting more precise and powerful, and then I put it obviously in the repetition. I do a lot of throws, so I also developed the muscular endurance. That's what you need in striking, to not only throw a lot of punches but be accurate and precise, damaging when you actually decide to throw, like Taporia is to, like, boom boom, like they're always, I think they're actually always worried. In boxing, you can be a little bit more relaxed and you can choose. You can just throw some volume, and then all of a sudden you have opening. You do boom, like a 2 or 3 puncher combos that are like landing and they're harder. Keep scrolling up. Oh, my husband is here and Michael is here. How's the business? Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Happy to see you. Yeah, like to fight but don't like to get hit. Well, I think essentially that is a good motivator to build up a good defense in the game. Fighters in the generation don't realize in the mixed martial arts is relatively new, and styles that were taught 30 years ago were taught from damaging your opponent as fast as brutal as possible. Yeah, and it's transforming so rapidly. If you even compare 10 years ago and 5 years ago, how it was, it's already different. Sorry, I don't know what happened with my. You know that feeling when it's like starts like just your ear gets a little bit like, I don't know, irritated. I don't know how to call it. Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. How old is Mario Barrios right now? And Mario Barrios was great. He was great again. He was actually a great example of Prince Nassim Hamed. He just destroyed him with a classic boxing style. With the power, with the precise plan and pressure, and just dismantled him. So, well, Ryan Garcia is way more. He's technical. He has kind of similar elements, flamboyancy and a lot of movement. Ryan Garcia is also obviously way more. Um, he can fight different styles. So, and he's younger. So, we shall see. I would still go for Ryan Garcia. Do you think Alexander Topuria can make it to the top of the division? He has all the tools except Topuria's knockout power. Yes, I think he can. And the knockout power can be developed too. So, we shall see. Upcoming lightweight fights are good. Oliveira versus Holloway, Paddy Justin, Lopez Walk. Yeah, those are good. I mean, one thing is missing, Arman Tsarukyan, but yeah, he's gonna he will fight for a title at some point. But I think he's gonna have to fight a couple more fights. This is how UFC punishing him for being uh, bailing basically on his title shot. It's strange that nobody has tried to head kick Taporia after Herbert fight. He's very potent to head kicks. Head kicks and low kicks as well. You notice Taporias have a lot of both Taporias have like quite a similar boxing stance, and those are like kind of price you pay. Then none of the styles are perfect. It's just about how you use it and the timing. But they're not really. If you start to farm them and low kick them a lot, I think it's the one of the ways how to stop them and do combos like involve a lot of low kicks. Yeah, Mira pumping his head while diving in a frozen lake. That everyone's seen that. It's like the safest place for Mirab is an octagon. Yeah, Becky Lynch. She's way cooler than Becky Lynch, but I see it. I don't know. Everyone sees it except me. Let's talk about the killer instinct. You have mindset of fear and have hands of how to control what you feel happy. Um, yeah, I mean, well, the more and more learning now, I'm learning a lot when it comes to boxing, at least. But I think it goes for all martial arts and all combat sports. Um, the timing, finding your pace, finding your timing, and the things that helps you to learn how to enforce and actually get comfortable, basically in every position in the octagon on the ring. And once you do that, then it kind of becomes you. If you get on that level of thinking and execution, you are like, you don't really care who is in front of you. Like you can counter things, you can keep pressuring, you keep forcing your game plan on them. And who can do that, who is in control, essentially wins. And control can shift. That's the greatest fights been the ones that uh, one is clearly winning, and then another one breaks their pace for a moment and takes an advantage in their side, and then just goes back and forth, which leads to exhaustion of both parties. And then it's just becomes mental. Okay, who's gonna just keep pushing and keep moving forward more? And those are usually the so-called gladiator bouts where any of the parties, both sides, refuse to give up. Oh, the dragonfly landed on my phone. Small one, but it was. You know, the dragonfly is one of the ultimate insect predator. It can fly all directions, and it's basically impossible to escape from a dragonfly. Dana versus Joe Rogan will be massive fight in the White House card. So going back to the sports roots of UFC, who's the goat of one of the best, Ken Shamrock, Bas Ruth, and etc. Why? Uh, I mean, I would say most of the Hall of Famers are well well deserved. To me, well, Bas Rutten, one of the favorites of the pioneers. He was just a revolutionary. The guy was just stepped up, and that was a time when there were no gloves, I think, and it's brutal. You know, imagine doing kicks and like you have no gloves, and he would use his palms to knock out people, and actually less damage to himself at all, and well, equal if not even better impact on the opponent with a bare hand. Bass is different beast. The Bob Ross is once, in my opinion, his YouTube how to fight videos are on different level. Yeah, like sometimes I meet those. They're great. Well, all the there's some fighters that have and boxers that have YouTube channels. And it's always cool to hear their takes and opinions and their discussions because they've been that and they've been doing that in a high level. Uh, Thank you, appreciate it. Mine was mindset of I'm already dead, so let me introduce you weird but dominant. Okay. Do you think Murap would deserve to get an immediate title shot? Well, I think UFC already. He's been saying that they called him and he said, "Just recover as long as you need. You will do it." And that proves another time that UFC loves and Dana loves people who are active. Murap really pros like Murap being one of the most active ones, uh, and then I think Pereira was the second one. So yeah, like if you're an active champion, like they're doing a lot of title defenses per year, at least two or three, yeah, you're gonna get rewarded. Your favorite MMA fighter set from Georgia is one of the favorite current ones, Alex Pereira. Hey Mike, thanks for the donation. Thank you for inspiring us and for being real. I appreciate it. I'll respond to you. Actually, I'm gonna wrap it up in the 5 minutes, and I'll respond to you. It's always good to talk to you. Dana versus his wife. Uh, dark. Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. Do you know? Do you remember that when Dana called out Tito Ortiz in the boxing match and was genuinely prepping for it? Like I think he hated Tito Ortiz. Buzz was good, but tank for pure rage and no fucks given. Well, that's what it was also an era of like so much more. Uh, skill was a little bit lower. I'm not the skill. I wouldn't say skill, but uh, maybe the accuracy was a little bit different. Like now, it's just way more dangerous. That means that the fighters are way more accurate in whatever they do, way more preserving and calculated in what they do. That the other side also have to be way more defending and focused. Whether before it was just like beautiful matches with beautiful kicks and punches and wrestling elements, but it was more like all of you just get on it because none of the parties would be super precise and capitalizing too much on the timing. Always, at least, a lot of times it was like a very active exchange with, as you said, no, not giving a f. Appreciate you being here, guys. Thank you very much. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. It's today. It's just a short, chill live stream. What do you think that Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, the weight difference is crazy, and can Jake survive with Joshua? Well, if it's a real fight, I don't think so. Oh, not really, because Jake Paul have not ever had a real fight. So he did have not been conditioned from just being able to throw pretty punches on the bag and the pads to an actually a real sparring volume and real fighting preparation. He never went through that phase. He never been conditioned for that. And I don't know why he's not doing that. It would be way cooler for his legacy as a YouTuber to actually come up and become a real boxer. Even if that wouldn't be a highest level, it would bring um, a better reputation to him. And maybe it's less entertaining, but I don't know. Like that's the thing. I prefer things to be real rather than just flamboyant and rigged. I almost certain it's rigged, but or it's Jake Paul went into a delusion and he actually believes because you never know. People like that get hyped by other people around them. And it's very easy to drop a person in their delusion. Yeah, the Doja snapped his elbow and felt very sorry for him. No trolls zone, bro. Yes, we're serious people here. If Anthony loses, we can confirm that match is rigged. Yes, it's also very obvious when you watch boxing. You can always see when it's real and when it's not. It's very easy to see that. Like Perry said, when he wasn't even tested when he fought Jake Paul. Well, yeah, I can imagine that too. Even legit fighters try to, really cycle in and cycle out and try not to get caught. But imagine Jake Paul not even doesn't even have to do that. Tell Jake Paul to call me. I would love to have a dance fight for millions. Yeah. Well, maybe that's why like I need to get famous too, and then we do an intergender fight where he wins. Yeah, I would like to fight Jake Paul. Need to become rich. Well, I don't know about Jake Paul, but there's a good opportunity for females. I think Clarissa Shields said that she would pay 100K to any woman who would get on with her on the ring and actually beat her. I mean, she's obviously a female goat and she's great, but at the same time, she was quite overconfident in the moments. I think she was thinking that she could beat some of the other male boxers, and then she kind of got whooped once they really pushed her a little bit on the sparring. So she realized, okay, I shouldn't. But obviously, she can beat most of women. But she also did PFL or something, and well, then all of a sudden it showed that in MMA rules, women that are more equipped with different skill set can walk through her. He will do it. She'll beat me. No, you have to win. You have to win. So I'm just saying it's a good opportunity for an actual good female boxer. Imagine there's this like just a girl her size, really training well, kind of not famous, and actually does that. Imagine someone takes that and beats her. It's always a little bit tricky to be that overconfident. Never. There is always someone that might appear just gonna end up better than you. You gotta be careful. Your ex is a good friend with her. Oh, good for her. My audience would pay a great money to see you beat me up on social media. Set it up, Chris. LOL. Uh, what can I do? If I like you as a person, like it's hard for me to even try. She was a champ. Well, she technically currently is. Do you also watch a woman's MMA fight or treat it as a nap or snack breaks like a GT channels? Like, I mean, everyone does what they want, right? I can't force you to watch female MMA. I watch it when it's on the card. I watch it. Like I don't skip it. And definitely, there's some fighters like Shevchenko and Nunes and Harrison. Like, when's a good female fighter I watch? Because I was watching card, the Aspinall card, for example. I was watching, and I like the fight John Duroba versus Mackenzie Dern. I think it was a good fight, but let's see what happens if John Bailey goes down. I think John takes it, but you know, people sometimes underestimate the underdog. So, yeah, females MMA being developed too, and in some ways, it's even can be even more technical because women don't possess that much of that big of the punch power, so the knockout risk is still significantly lower than within the men. So. Purely through the martial arts perspective, like exchanging, countering, catching, reacting, it might be even more interesting to watch than some of the fights. I'm not talking about all the fights, but what people like to consider be boring when Valentina fights, for example. Some people are like, oh, she's so calculated. Well, I'm enjoying her through the purely martial arts perspective, not just for entertainment. And in women, you not always see only blood and really you have some tough fights, obviously a lot of women brawl, but when it's like a pure martial art, it's less about knocking out power, it's more about them being quite precise, and it's actually cool to see that skill set developed within the women. Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah, you don't lose if you learn something. Oh, that's a good take, of course. Who's your favorite UFC female fighter. I mean, I would say let me put Valentina first, and then I think Nunes. Um, Valentina Shevchenko is the goat of the singing up pig cards. Again, like or dislike, she's a great martial artist. Not every martial artist is entertaining. Like good martial artists can be actually quite boring for a lot of people. But that's why I sometimes differ. I can tell you, oh, this fight is super entertaining. Who is might not be a great martial artist, like or complete or perfect martial art. Like Pereira technically is not a great martial artist because he is not wrestling, but he's a great striker, and well, it's entertaining to watch. As long as he's fighting someone who can he can force into a striking most of the time, it's entertaining to watch. So yeah, male UFC fighter. I mean, Georgians, obvious. I always say that, like, because I mean, Merab and Tapuria. Tapuria, the only Tapuria, I actually like his style very much. But there are some other fighters. I mean, like old ones. GSP, DJ was cool. The Volkanovski, Dustin Poirier, even though he wasn't like the top of the top, but like Poirier always do great, and like Gagey also, like the highlight the Gagey, he's called for a reason. So a lot of fighters there. I like Jerry Prohaska. I don't like his style, but I like how like he just somehow makes it interesting. Like somehow he just makes it interesting to watch. Um, uh, the Swole the fuck I think Beast. Yeah. So there are a lot of guys in the UFC right now. They're like quite good. Yeah, I'm Georgian. But okay. Basically, I'll read this one more, and I'm gonna wrap up this live stream. Do you think the legends from the old era like GSP could still champions in today's UFC on the has general evolution of skills made today's fighters so advanced compared to back then? I think GSP could be because it's about also IQ, fighting IQ. What is IQ? IQ is the capacity to learn. And when you have a high IQ, fighting IQ, you are adaptable. You can adapt. And GSP was ahead with his physical training and preparation, athleticity, he was way ahead of his times already. So he might have to have adapt his style a little bit to the modern times, but I think he would. And Volk is a good example too. Volk is not the young one; he's the same age around as the Poirier and Gagey. Holloway is younger actually, Max Holloway, but you can see like Volk is still holding it against the young. The only one, like, okay, Ilya knocked him out, but then he just schooled Lopez in their first fight and became featherweight champion. So he's one of the higher IQ, like he has a high IQ and he's a super well-rounded fighter. So he still grows. He still keeps developing. And I think it really depends on that capacity. Yes, I'm married. Appreciate you guys. Happy Festivus. But okay, guys, thank you very much. It was a short one. I mean, I don't feel the greatest today, but it was good to come up here and talk to you as always. Um, Tomorrow, as I said, I said that I will first thing I'll try to make as many shorts as possible and show the combinations, right? So let's do that. I'll do that, and tomorrow I'll try to get back to training, back to the groove. Saturday, I got my helmet, sparring day, so stay tuned. The Saturday day might be interesting and exciting because you're gonna be able to see me and other guys. Do the sparring and switch the pairs, and it's going to be interesting to see the technical sparring work. Well, otherwise, thank you very much for being here. Have a good day or night depending where you're from, and I see you in the next